Hey guys, today I would like to teach you a little sleight of hand that is called the fan. And it isn't a sleight of hand that's too hard, but it does need a little bit of practice, okay? So basically this is what it looks like, okay? Basically, yeah. And this is the thing that I talked about. There's one thing that you do need to know, is that I've mentioned that I recommend you to use your left hand to hold the deck, because this is where it really comes into play. Like if I do it with my left hand, if I do the fan with my left hand, it's gonna be like this. It's gonna look like that. You can't see the pips because the pips are on the top left corner. Okay, so you wouldn't get a too nice view, but what you do get is a really nice effect that it kind of looks like you have a blank deck, but it's hard to hide all the pips. But anyway, let's get into the fan. So basically you're just gonna take the deck and put it and hold it like this. Okay, I like to hold it this way. I pinch the deck with my index finger and middle finger like that, and my thumb goes on top. Okay, so when I do the fan, this is the position that I start up with. Okay, and when I do the fan, I kind of pivot the deck like this so that it goes directly into this position. Okay, so if you don't do that, it's gonna be fine, but your fan is not gonna be as big. Okay, so if you don't do this, your fan is gonna be like this. But if you do that, your fan is gonna be like this. It kind of increases a bit of the width, okay? But it doesn't really matter. So yeah, and this is the basic grip. I like to grab the deck like this and pivot it into this position. So now the main position that I'm holding on to the deck is the tip of my index finger and my middle finger, okay? And my thumb. The tip of them basically is this place is where I put most pressure onto, okay? And now I've seen people do it with their index finger, but I like to do it with my thumb, okay? I like to do it with my thumb. So now, when you go into this position, you're gonna take your right hand, you're gonna use your right hand to spread out the cards, okay? It's really hard to do it in slow motion, but the position of my hand doesn't really change. Well, my left hand doesn't really change. The only thing that has changed is the position of my right hand, okay? So one thing is that I found it easier to do the fan if I put my thumb closer to the opposites, to the corner right here. Okay, so if I put my thumb right here, the fan isn't gonna be too, like the distances between the cards are gonna be a lot bigger, okay? So basically, I put my thumb right on the top corner right here, okay? So this kind of gives me a better control of the cards. That I could be able to release the card one by one, not too quickly. Okay. So like this. You grab onto the cards and you spread the cards with your thumb. And your thumb, it's gonna release it gradually. And the more you practice, the more you could kind of get the feeling, okay? You would know what I'm talking about right here, okay? Okay. So I don't think it's possible to do it in a slow motion, so this is basically the speed that I normally do. And there's a way to close a fan with one hand, okay? So how to close up a fan with one hand? So basically, you're just gonna use your index finger because you're holding the fan with your middle finger and your thumb. So you could let go of your 3 other fingers, right? And now the pivot point is right in the middle of your middle finger. So now if you contact and create a bit of friction on this card and you push it forward, it's gonna pivot around the center of the middle of your middle finger, okay? So basically I kind of like to curl up my middle finger so that it creates a much better pivot point for me to close up the fan, because all of the cards are gonna pivot around this point, okay? So it's hard to do it with a slow motion either. So you get the idea. You use your middle finger and close the deck with your index finger, okay? So your ring finger and your pinky could kind of help and drag the cards back, okay? So when I do the fan, when I close up my fan, I like to kind of take advantage of the gravity and kind of like do a motion of a wrist twisting motion, so that when it comes to this angle, and I use my index finger to kind of pivot to push the deck. And as I'm pushing the deck, I kind of tilt my hands a bit. So the deck is gonna fall because of the gravity, okay? So now you'll get the idea. I'll do a couple more times and you can see, okay? You can see my wrist twisting motion right there, okay? So open up the fan, close it. Fan, close it. Kind of give it a little bit of motion so that it could be able to close up, okay? Well, let me give you a little view underneath my hand, okay? Okay, so thank you guys so much for watching, and make sure to like my video. And if you want to see more sleight of hand and magic trick tutorials, make sure to subscribe to my channel. And if you have any questions, make sure to comment down below and ask me, and I'll reply as quick as I possibly can. So thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.